Welcome to Noah's Workshop. I'm Noah, and this is my workshop. Today on Noah's Workshop, we blow stuff up. We are playing with explosives. Today is the 3rd of July, and we are going to have a relatively small show, only 530 guns this year. This is one rack of 2.5-inch guns. Timbers are nailed to the base for stability so the rack can stand on its own. Notice he's nailing at an upward angle. This is to keep the nails from coming loose when the guns are fired. This is a rack of 3-inch guns. The gun tubes are made of ABS plastic, where the 2.5-inch gun tubes are made of paper. The racks are carted off and aligned into rows.
Get ready to run right over there.
Now we're about to lay strips beside the gun rows. What are strips, you ask? These are strips. These strips are bundled. This strip is being unbundled. And if you look closely, you'll notice pairs of electrical connectors. Also notice the large electrical connector hanging from the end of the strip. Later, we'll connect long cables from these connectors to the control board. The row on the right has 4-inch guns, followed by 3s, then 2.5s, then 3s again, and at the end a double rack of 3s.
I bet we're going to have more fun tonight than you are.
Here's what the field looks like with rows and strips in place. Now it's time to label the guns according to the printed list.
Bob? Fire marshal just pulled up.
Break time! Woo! Now, after we've built these racks of cannons by nailing them together, now the next step is to take the product, or the explosives, out of the truck and place the product on the top of the cannons. We're not even allowed to take the product out. As a matter of fact, the fire marshal won't even let us open the boxes until he gives us say-so. These racks belong to the finale. Now we're starting to place the product. These are interconnected because they belong to the finale, but most shells in the show are individual. Placing the product is probably the easiest job of the day.
One of them is red, white, and blue, and the other is assorted color.
Yeah, I don't know. We should have moved this one.
I'll get it worked.
Maybe over here.
At this point, most of the product has been placed. Remember, each individual shell has to be placed in its correct spot according to the list. We can't just put them wherever they happen to fit size-wise. Alright, after placing the product on the cannon, now it's time to load this product. There's a very specific way to do it, and here it is. Try not to blow myself up. Put a loop in it so that it snaps off when the cannon fires instead of taking the wire with it. Like that. Oops, there we go. And we connect this side into our main, and that was number 1. So now we connect into number 1 right here. With wire exposed and pull on it so it's tight. No, it's not tight. Okay. And it's good to go. Notice this strip has a different type of connector. The wires are bundled loosely in such a way that they can unravel easily, because when the guns are fired, both the racks and the strips tend to move around.
It doesn't have to be tight. It can be loose. This one's got a lot of slack.
Now when the guns bounce around from firing, if it needs more slack, it'll just pull on the cable and
Oh,
go
okay.
slack again.
Okay. So is that one too tight then?
Oh, that one's okay. Pull on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to give them a little slack.
During the show, as shells are fired, sparks rain down on the gun tubes. Sometimes a spark that falls into a gun tube causes the shell to cook off before it's triggered. Normally this is not a huge problem, but because the finale guns are connected by a common fuse, one spark could cause an entire finale rack to fire. For this reason, we place aluminum foil over the finale guns. At this point, all the guns are loaded and wired into the strips. The next step is to connect the cables from the strips to the control board and test every single electrical connection for continuity.
So if you guys could come up and help with the...
The pyrotechnician in command will use the control board's probe to touch these connectors, thus completing the circuit. The connections are tested using a low current and fired using a higher current.
Would you like an interview with the fireworks, Noah? But I haven't.
What's up, bitch? Are you gonna use that?
Probably not.